Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Clover Street video podcast. It's a working title. I don't know if that's what we're going to call it or not, but I'm Chris Kepix. Thanks so much for joining. We're in the very, very early stages of this show, of this production, so everything is still a work in progress. And I look forward to suggestions. If anybody out there watching this wants to be a guest, if you're semi-interesting, if you have anything interesting to say that you can contribute, just kind of starting off from scratch, day one. Hopefully, 100 or 1,000 episodes from now, I'll be a huge internet sensation. I'll have sponsors. I'll be getting paid for every one of these. But for right now, it's just some stanky dude in his closet. Imagine that. Anyway, we're glad you tuned in on this Monday night. What was it, night before last? We had the big McGregor-Mayweather fight, which ended a little over a minute into the 10th round. And, I think that I wanted McGregor to win, but my money was on Mayweather. And he did what he does, which he has tremendous stamina on his feet. McGregor did not. I'm a huge fan of McGregor. I really wish he would have won, but you got to hand it to him. I heard reports say that this is Mayweather's last fight ever. Like, he's done. He's retired now. So we'll see. Money talks, right? Pull him out of retirement if the money's right. Now, interestingly enough, McGregor has all kinds of options in front of him now. Dana White wants him to stay in the UFC, but he can do whatever he wants, and he gets offers from everyone, so it'll be interesting to see which direction he goes into. He's got a lot of spirit. I like his nationalism, the fact that he is all about Ireland, and I think that's pretty cool because I am about a quarter Irish myself. So, but I just wanted to see Mayweather, have a loss, just not retire with a perfect record, and so he probably picked a good time to do it. He's a good fighter, but I'll tell you, what really helps him is his defense. He keeps his arms up. He's got a lot of stamina. He wears the other guy out just from, it's like, dude, he when the other guy's super tired, though, and he's just barely able to get those punches, Mayweather's, he's blocking, and he knows how to take advantage when the guard's down. And McGregor's guard was down a lot, especially in the later rounds. So, anyway, good fight. I think both fighters now have much more respect for one another. Of course, all the trash talking before the fights, but that just goes with boxing. That's just the way it is. And I guarantee you that if that had been anything other than boxing, Mayweather would not have won. You could just tell by some of the instinctual moves that McGregor was making that he was just ready to wrap his arm around that guy and grapple him and get him down to the ground, and it was a good fight. So anyway, I was hoping to be able to. Oh, you know what? I might be able to. I'd have to go get my iPhone. I really wanted to do, just to kill some time and give me some content to talk about, is sort of scroll through Facebook and look at everybody's feed, my friends and other people that I follow and companies that I follow and news sources and all that, and just sort of comment and talk about that. So I'm going to try to do that just for a little bit, okay? So I can edit this video later, and I'm going to go grab my iPhone. I'll be right back. Okay, cool. I am back. All right. Okay, everybody, thanks for sticking with me. I just want to talk about some of the news stories that are going on right now. Let's see. Penguins, Pittsburgh Penguins, Stanley Cup champions. That's right, you know it. So according to this, teams that everyone roots against. You have the Dallas Cowboys, Alabama Crimson Tide. I don't follow college, so I don't. The Patriots, the Golden State Warriors, the Yankees, and the Penguins. They hate us because they ain't us. You keep winning, and they just start rooting against you because, other teams want to see other people want to see their teams make it every once in a while. Here's a neat thing on Facebook. Always posts really interesting things. I would suggest you follow the Surrealistic Fantasy Group, and then in parentheses it says Whimsaholics Anonymous. Maybe that's what it used to be called, but it's the Surrealistic Fantasy Group. All kinds of neat stuff. I strongly suggest you follow them. Riff House Pub has an event coming up. September 1st, Friday, 9 p.m. Let's see, who is it? Ghosts of Evolution, the Jake Rakes Band, Fairies Death Waltz. Never heard of any of those people, but dandy. Okay, what else do we have here? Fight Depot, that's a great one. If you like to watch street fights and just, it's sort of like World Star, but not quite as ghetto. I mean, it's more about fighting than just people acting ghetto. Physicists just achieved quantum teleportation underwater for the first time. That's interesting. Okay. My buddy Brant says, my prediction for tonight, and this is for Saturday night, lots of people will be reminded how bad boxing is. Hashtag MMA is better. And I agree with that. But I'll tell you what, that fight last Saturday night, man, that did a lot to help boxing. It really did. More people tune into that, man. There hasn't been people that tune into a match that big since Muhammad Ali, since Tyson was fighting. So I think it did a lot for the sports. If you're into that. MMA to me is a lot more exciting. But you know what I saw at the Hampton Coliseum a few years back? I saw Glory kickboxing live. I was there. It was amazing. Mike Tyson was there too, and he was just sort of commenting and made some appearances and stuff. So that was interesting. But man, kickboxing, just imagine, okay, boxing, as exciting as the world of boxing is, and you think, well, gosh, I wish they could kick. There you go, kickboxing. And then you think MMA is pretty exciting, but I wish they'd stop, just being locked together on the ground for 5 minutes at a time. That's boring, So you got kickboxing, because that's not allowed in kickboxing. It's the best of both worlds. I like all three, though, honestly. MMA, it's a toss-up which one I like better between MMA and kickboxing. They're really good. But, my theory is that Mayweather should have lost that fight intentionally or something, just so they could have had a rematch. Because, man, as many people as tuned in for that fight, do you know how many more people would have tuned in for the big rematch? All the millions, maybe billions of money that was made worldwide from that fight, they could have made it all again with a rematch. I mean, good luck getting numbers that big again for a boxing match. You're going to have some heavy hitters, some people, some fighters that people are really interested in. I'm into D&D. I know that's kind of nerdy, but I'm trying to get a game going. If anybody wants to do that, private message me on Facebook or whatever. I do not accept friend requests from people I don't know, so don't even bother. But I'd like to get a game going here in my hometown would be nice. Something regular, at least once a week. Well, yeah. I wouldn't want it more than once a week. Once a week, but, stick to it. Shout out to Superior Pawn and Gun. I guess that's a good place to go to get your guns. Paul Wheaton, he's a guy I follow along with the Survivalist podcast. Guy knows a lot about self-sustaining living. What else is going on? Hampton Roads Cyclists. Well, so I did a ride with these guys on my bike a few weeks ago. What was it, about a month ago? 3 weeks or a month ago, I forget which. I think it was like a month ago. And I don't really enjoy the group rides. Just because I like to stop, man, if I see a butterfly, if I see, if I just feel like stopping, taking a breather, or I just, I want to skip a stone or something, when you're with these groups, you got to keep up with them, and, they're going really fast, and a lot of them are slowing down just so that the slow people can keep up, and I don't know. I just don't know them. I don't think I will be doing that again. I don't know. So we'll see. Comicbook.com is another good one to follow. They always have good comic book, movie, Comic-Con type news and stuff. Super Troopers 2. I only saw bits and pieces of the first Super Troopers. Didn't think it was that great. I don't know why people are getting so excited about part 2. I don't know. Maybe I just need to sit down and try to watch part 1 again. North Carolina School Board bans Confederate flag on school grounds. I kind of don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole, I'm not really for the Confederate flag. It was a dark part of history. And honest to God, it seems like every pickup truck I see with a Confederate flag on the back of it, I'm pretty sure that they don't really... A lot of them are racist. Not all of them, but I just would rather stay away from that subject altogether. What else is going on? The Ewoks from Star Wars. The Church of What's Happening Now. I'm listening to that video podcast in the other room. You might be able to faintly hear it in the background. Hopefully not, but that's a pretty good one. I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, and I think Bert Kreischer is the guest on the show now. I don't know how old the episode is or anything, but Duncan Trussell podcast, Joe Rogan podcast. I'm big into podcasts, man. They're pretty fun to listen to. Found Me. This is a neat thing. I guess. FONDMI, all one word. FONDMI. Follow them and read what they're all about. You'll never lose your personal belongings again if you slap a Found Me tag on one of them. Let's see. What else is going on? Oh, the weather. Oh, the Houston. They had a big hurricane recently. I don't know the name of the hurricane, but I heard they had a lot of rain. So I hope that they're okay. What else is going on? Love hunting, love fishing. I got about a month and a week until opening day of archery season for deer. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I always hunt this piece of private land out in it's out in Waverly somewhere, Virginia. So that will be fun. Cooks Illustrated is another good one to follow. I follow them on Facebook. A starter kit to making your own venison jerky. I've kind of mastered that. What is this here? Like I said, this is just more of a test run. I know this isn't going to be endlessly entertaining. You can have it on just for background or whatever. I'm doing it mainly to test the audio and the video quality. I think the video on my iPhone 7 Plus is better than the iPad, which I'm currently using. I will eventually be switching over to GoPro, but